This Sunday, everything changes, not by accident, not by coincidence, because something ancient, something divine has been waiting for you. Yes, you, chosen one. This is not just another day in your life. It's the day your destiny activates. The final step begins, and the forces that tried to bury you will finally see why you were planted. You've always known, haven't you, that you were never like the others. You saw deeper, felt stronger. While they ran toward the noise, you were drawn to the silence. And while the world distracted itself, you were remembering something sacred, something hidden deep within your soul. Being chosen is not about titles. It's about burdens that no one sees. It's about hearing the whispers of truth in a world built on lies. It's about walking alone in a crowd of millions. It's about carrying light in a realm that rewards shadows. You didn't ask for this path. You were summoned to it. From childhood, the signs were there. Your dreams, your intuition, your pain. The isolation you felt wasn't punishment. It was preparation. Every betrayal carved wisdom into your soul. Every heartbreak refined your fire. Every failure built the strength they never saw coming. You were being shaped, forged, awakened, because the ones who carry great light must first survive great darkness. They mocked you, dismissed you, made you question your worth. But it was never about them. They were simply afraid of what you would become once you remembered who you are. They knew your awakening would shake everything. The system was built to silence the chosen, to make you doubt your own vision, to drown your voice in noise and numb your heart with fear. But you endured, you broke free, and now the veil is thinning. This Sunday, the energy shifts, you'll feel it, a deep call from within, a stirring in your spirit that you can't explain. It's the moment your purpose aligns with divine timing. It's not just a day, it's a divine appointment. The universe is no longer testing you, it's now trusting you. You're being handed the keys to unlock what has always been yours, not fame, not comfort, but truth, power, sacred responsibility. The final step is not out there, it's within you. A decision, a surrender, a leap, to fully embrace your calling, to step out of hiding, to walk boldly into your divine identity. You don't need permission, you don't need validation. Your soul is your proof, your journey is your testimony, and your light, your sacred light, is your weapon. This world needs your voice now more than ever. The lost are searching, the broken are waiting, and your story, your presence, your truth will be their awakening. So when the sun rises this Sunday, rise with it. Stand tall, speak truth, move like you know who walks beside you. You are not alone. You never were. Chosen one, this is your moment. Everything that tried to stop you only prepared you, and now heaven moves through you. The final step has arrived. Walk it with courage, walk it with love, walk it as the one you were always meant to be. If this message spoke to your soul, if you felt this truth like it was written just for you, then you already know what you are. Comment below with "I'm ready" if your destiny activates this Sunday. Like this video if you feel the shift. Subscribe to Ascended Awakening because your journey has only just begun. And we're walking this path together. Now go, shine like the world tried to forget you could, because you were chosen. They never understood why you were so quiet, why you always seemed like you were carrying something invisible, something heavy yet sacred. They saw you as strange, too sensitive, too intense. But they didn't realize your spirit was tuned to a higher frequency. You weren't made to fit into this world. You were made to transform it. Every time you were rejected, it wasn't a loss, it was redirection. The universe was rerouting you to protect your essence. Because if you had blended in, you would have forgotten your mission. You would have lost the voice that was meant to awaken nations. The chosen are often misunderstood because your presence alone disturbs the illusions. When you enter a room, energy shifts. Not because you try, but because truth radiates from your being. And truth always exposes what others work hard to hide. They feel it, that energy you carry. Some admire it, others envy it, but no one can ignore it. It's not charisma, it's not charm, it's your divine light. and it speaks louder than words. You've been patient. You've endured the storms in silence. But deep down, you've always known something was building, something greater, and now it's here. This Sunday is not just symbolic. It's spiritual. It's a portal, an alignment between your soul's contract and divine timing. You'll feel the pull to reflect, to shed, to release, and with it will come a clarity so strong it will silence every doubt you've ever had. This is the moment where your gifts awaken in full power. Visions may become stronger, dreams more vivid. Synchronicities will follow you like breadcrumbs from the divine. You may see repeated numbers, hear whispers of wisdom, or feel the urge to act without knowing why. That's your soul speaking. Answer it. This Sunday, the spiritual fog begins to lift. You'll start seeing people, places, and decisions through divine eyes. What once confused you will now seem obvious. The masks will fall, the illusions will shatter, and your path will light up with unmistakable purpose. You won't need to chase anything anymore. The right people, the right opportunities, they'll be drawn to your light like gravity, because the chosen don't chase. They attract through alignment, through authenticity, through surrender. But with this awakening comes responsibility. You can no longer shrink to make others comfortable. You can no longer play small to fit into cages you've outgrown. Your silence no longer serves you, and your truth is no longer optional. It's necessary. The world is starving for authenticity, and your life, your scars, your wisdom, your rise is someone else's roadmap to freedom. You are not just here to survive. You are here to awaken, to activate, to rebuild. So when the call comes this Sunday, and it will, don't hesitate, don't second guess, don't overthink, move, speak, release. Because hesitation is the language of fear, and you were never built from fear. You were forged by divine fire. The path ahead won't always be easy, but ease was never the goal, elevation was. And now, everything that was once unclear will begin to make perfect sense. You may begin to notice people pulling away, friends going silent, family growing distant. Don't chase them. Don't grieve what was never aligned with your highest self. Their exit is part of your elevation. When the chosen rise, the unnecessary falls away. This is the shedding season, the stripping away of false identities, expired attachments, and old versions of yourself. The universe is making space for the real you to step forward. Not the one who played small, not the one who silenced their intuition just to keep the peace, but the version of you that remembers why you came here, remembers the promises your soul made before you took your first breath, remembers that this journey was never about fitting in, it was about waking up. There's a sacred restlessness stirring within you now. You may feel like something big is about to happen. You're not wrong. Your spirit is picking up signals before your mind can understand. And that's how it's always worked for the chosen. You feel the shift before it shows up. This Sunday, you'll feel that shift in your body, not just in your thoughts, not just in your emotions, but in your entire energetic field. Like your soul is taking its first full breath after lifetimes of suffocation. You'll feel lighter, more awake, more alive, and things will begin to move faster. Doors that were once sealed shut will fly open. Opportunities that passed you by will return, this time with greater alignment, because now you're ready, not just to receive, but to carry what comes next with divine authority. But don't be surprised if resistance also shows up, because with every activation, there is opposition. Your light will attract both angels and shadows. Some will see your rise and be inspired. Others will try to distract you, mock you, or confuse you. Stay rooted, because this is just proof that your frequency is rising. You'll no longer resonate with meaningless conversations or surface-level connections. Your soul will crave depth, truth, and authenticity. You'll seek solitude, not out of loneliness, but because silence becomes your sanctuary. In that silence, you'll hear what others miss, the whispers of God, the guidance of spirit, the clarity of your mission. You might begin to speak differently, think differently, move differently. That's because your spirit is now leading the way, no longer driven by fear, people-pleasing, or doubt, but by divine remembrance. You'll begin to reclaim lost fragments of yourself, the pieces you gave away in the name of love, approval, or survival. You'll gather them like sacred relics, honoring each one, because nothing was ever wasted. Every scar has become sacred geometry, every tear a holy baptism. You are not who you were last year, not who you were last month, and by this Sunday, you won't even be who you were yesterday. That's how quickly things change for the chosen when they step into divine timing. And the final step, it's already forming beneath your feet. It doesn't require perfection, only presence, only courage, only a yes to the calling that's never left your side. You'll begin to notice the difference between noise and truth. What once entertained you will now feel empty. What once distracted you will now feel like poison. Because your spirit no longer tolerates what dims your light. The higher you rise, the less you can carry with you. This is why the chosen are often misunderstood. You'll be called arrogant for setting boundaries, cold for protecting your peace, too intense for speaking your truth. But remember, your energy exposes their illusions. It's not your job to make others comfortable. It's your calling to become who you were sent to be. You'll start sensing things before they happen. The room will speak before anyone opens their mouth. Your intuition will sharpen like a blade. You'll know who's genuine, who's pretending, who's vibrating at your frequency, and who's draining your light. Trust these instincts. They are not paranoia. They are prophecy. And don't be surprised if life starts shifting rapidly. Sudden opportunities, sudden endings, sudden clarity that feels like lightning through your spine. This is the acceleration. The universe no longer waits when a chosen one is ready, because your time has always been sacred. It's just that now you believe it. You'll be tempted to doubt yourself, because this path is unfamiliar. It doesn't look like what you were taught. There's no blueprint for the soul's awakening, but you're not lost. You're just walking where few have dared to go. You'll realize how much of your life was lived on autopilot. Doing what you were told, suppressing who you are, chasing things that never fed your soul. Now everything becomes intentional. Your energy becomes currency, and you'll no longer spend it on things that rob you of peace. As this shift unfolds, your emotions may intensify. Old wounds will rise, not to punish you, but to free you. You'll cry without warning. You'll feel things you thought were long buried. This is the cleansing. Let it move through you, because buried pain becomes sacred power when brought into the light. There will be moments when you feel completely alone, but solitude for the chosen is never isolation. It's initiation. It's where you meet your true self, where the noise of the world falls away and only your soul remains. That's where the magic begins. You'll stop needing external validation, because once your spirit remembers its worth, the applause of the world becomes irrelevant. You'll be fueled by purpose, not praise, guided by inner knowing, not outer approval. That's when your power becomes unstoppable. The people meant for you will feel different. Their presence will bring peace, not confusion. They won't need to be convinced of your worth. They'll recognize it. Because real souls remember each other. And your awakening will act like a beacon, pulling in those who carry the same divine frequency. You'll begin to feel like you're living between worlds. One foot in the physical, the other in the spiritual. You'll hear truths in silence. See signs in chaos. It may feel strange at first, like you're dissolving. But you're not breaking down, you're breaking through the veil, through the programming, through everything that once kept you asleep. This is why your sleep feels different lately. Why you wake up at odd hours with your heart racing. Why you feel energy swirling through your body when you lie still. Your soul is in deep communion. You are being downloaded with wisdom your mind can't yet grasp. Trust it. Let it in. This Sunday, many will treat it like any other day. But you'll feel the weight of it. The pull, the opening, because you're tuned in. You've been prepared. And this portal is meant for you. This isn't about religion or rituals. It's about remembrance. It's about unlocking what was sealed away within you long ago. The divine code that only awakens when your heart is finally ready to carry it. And now, it is. You'll begin to hear your name in the spirit. Not your earthly name, but the vibration of your soul identity. The one you carried before you were born. It will echo in dreams, in moments of stillness, like a sacred frequency calling you back to your original power. Don't be surprised if you start losing interest in things that once excited you. That's not depression, it's recalibration. You're shedding layers that no longer reflect who you are. Old dreams will dissolve to make room for the destiny that's actually yours. This is the divine reset. You may notice people mirroring your inner world. Conflicts rising, truths spilling out. That's not chaos. It's spiritual reflection. The world around you is adjusting to the vibration you now carry, and anything that doesn't match will either rise to meet you or fall away. There will be days when you feel exhausted, like you're carrying lifetimes on your shoulders. That's because you are. The chosen don't just heal for themselves, they heal for bloodlines, for timelines, for generations. Your transformation is not personal, it's ancestral, and your courage is breaking chains your ancestors wept under. You'll begin to walk with a quiet authority, not ego, not arrogance, but the sacred knowing that you are exactly where you're meant to be. You won't need to prove yourself, because your presence alone will carry the weight of truth. Everything you've been through has shaped you for this. The pain, the rejection, the silence. They were never punishments, they were preparations, because only those who've walked through darkness can carry light with such fire. You'll start to understand why certain doors never opened, why certain people couldn't stay, why life rerouted you so many times it felt like punishment. But now you'll see it for what it really was, protection. You weren't being delayed, you were being aligned. This is the power of divine timing. It doesn't move by your calendar, it moves by your readiness. And now your frequency has reached the level where divine things can find you. Not the crumbs, not the distractions, but the sacred assignments your soul agreed to before you came here. You'll begin to crave truth more than comfort. You'll choose growth over familiarity, healing over avoidance. The old patterns won't satisfy you anymore because your spirit has outgrown survival. Now you're here to thrive. As this Sunday approaches, you may feel emotional without reason. You might cry at sunsets, feel waves of love for no one in particular, get overwhelmed by memories you haven't touched in years. This is the soul stretching, reaching beyond the limits of the past and anchoring itself in the present. The chosen are never truly at rest. Even in stillness, their spirit is working, breaking generational curses, clearing ancestral debt, planting seeds of light where darkness once ruled. You're not just living, you're rewriting history. You'll begin to notice divine patterns in your life, repeating numbers, synchronicities, dreams that feel like messages. It's not coincidence, it's confirmation. The universe is speaking in symbols now, because your soul is awake enough to understand them. You'll stop asking for signs and start becoming one. You'll walk into rooms and shift the atmosphere without saying a word. You'll be drawn to sacred places, sacred people, sacred work, because your vibration now acts like a spiritual magnet, calling in everything that's meant for you. The attacks may come too, energetic interference, strange disruptions. This is expected because darkness always panics when light remembers its power, but you are shielded. Your energy is protected not just by intention, but by purpose. You may begin to dream more vividly, flying, ascending, crossing bridges, receiving ancient knowledge. These aren't just dreams, they're activations, glimpses of other realms reminding you of who you are beyond the body. The veil is thin now, and you were meant to see through it. You'll stop fearing endings. You'll stop clinging to what's no longer alive, because endings no longer feel like loss. They feel like permission, permission to rise, permission to step fully into your next chapter. And on this sacred day that approaches, your final step will not feel like effort. It will feel like release. You won't have to force it. You'll just have to allow it. You'll begin to feel yourself detaching from time. Clocks will lose their grip on you. The urgency to rush, prove, or achieve will fade, because your soul isn't driven by deadlines, it's led by alignment. And when you're in alignment, everything arrives without force. you'll see how many around you are still asleep. Chasing approval, fearing rejection, distracted by illusions they believe are real. And though it may pain you to witness their blindness, you'll realize that your role is not to wake them forcefully, but to become the light that reminds them there's another way. This Sunday marks something ancient, a turning point written in the stars before your first breath, a soul contract finally reaching its trigger point. You've crossed thresholds in silence, you've endured storms with no witnesses, and now the heavens remember your name. You may feel a divine pressure on your chest or your head. That's not anxiety, that's the activation. Your crown opening, your heart expanding, your energy field preparing for what it's about to hold. You'll start feeling reverence for things others overlook. The wind, the stillness, a stranger's smile, the way light falls through your window in the morning. It's because you're tuning into the frequency of the divine, and that frequency exists in everything, especially the small. Don't be surprised if your body begins to purge. You may feel physical discomfort, waves of tiredness, bursts of energy. This is your vessel adjusting to carry more light. Every cell is remembering its sacred blueprint. You're not falling apart. You're returning to wholeness. You'll begin speaking differently too. Your words will carry weight. Not because you speak loudly, but because you speak from the depths. People will feel your voice in their bones, because you're not speaking from the ego anymore, you're speaking from essence. There will be a sense of inevitability, like something massive is coming, yet instead of fear, you'll feel a calm knowing, because you're not waiting for something outside to change. You've become the shift you once prayed for. You'll feel your old self slipping away. The mask, the roles, the identities you wore to survive. They'll start dissolving like fog in the morning sun. And what remains will feel unfamiliar, but deeply true. This is the emergence, the sacred unveiling. People will start responding to you differently. Some will be magnetized, others will disappear without warning. Don't chase, don't explain. You are rising. And what can't breathe at your new altitude will naturally fall away. You'll find yourself remembering things you never learned. Truths will rise from within as if you've known them for lifetimes, because you have. The wisdom that's surfacing now was planted long before this life. It was encoded in your soul's fabric, waiting for this precise moment to awaken. You may be drawn to symbols, languages, or teachings you've never encountered before. Ancient scripts, star alignments, forgotten traditions. It's not coincidence, it's recognition. Your spirit is reconnecting to forgotten lineages. And through this, your higher purpose becomes clearer than ever. This Sunday will not announce itself with thunder. It will unfold quietly like a breath between worlds, but you'll feel it, a subtle shift in energy, a sacred silence that wraps around your soul. It's the call, the invitation. The moment your timeline pivots toward destiny, you'll begin to walk with more intention. Even your silence will have power. You'll no longer feel the need to explain your path, because those who are meant to understand will feel it, and those who aren't were never meant to follow. Things you used to tolerate will now feel unbearable. Places, conversations, even certain foods. Your vibration is rising, and what doesn't nourish your soul will become impossible to keep. This is not rejection, this is refinement. You're being aligned with purity, clarity, truth. Even nature will respond to you differently. Birds may come closer, clouds may form symbols, animals may look at you as if they remember you, because they do. Creation recognizes when one of its own is awakening. You'll feel more deeply. Joy will become richer, sadness more sacred. Tears will no longer be weakness, they'll be release. Every emotion will become a teacher, because when you're fully awakened, nothing is wasted, not even pain. Some may accuse you of changing, of becoming distant or strange, but you're not becoming someone else, you're becoming yourself. And the ones who truly love you will recognize you more clearly now, not less. You'll begin to understand divine detours. that the heartbreak, the loss, the unanswered prayers, they weren't dead ends, they were initiations. Pain was never the enemy, it was the doorway. And now the doorway is wide open. It's not just a new chapter, it's a new dimension of being. A space where your intuition leads and miracles follow, where the path isn't linear but luminous, where each step is guided by something far greater than logic. Your dreams may start blending with your waking life. Moments of déjà vu, vivid visions, encounters with beings you can't explain, but somehow know. The veil is thinning, not just around you, but within you. You are becoming the bridge between realms. Music will hit differently. You'll feel vibrations in your chest, not just your ears. Certain tones will trigger emotion, memory, even revelation, because now sound is not entertainment, it's activation. Every frequency speaks, and your soul finally understands the language. You'll start to see life symbolically. A feather on the ground isn't just a feather. A flickering light holds a message. A sudden change of plans feels orchestrated, because nothing is random anymore. Everything is coded with meaning. Time will bend. You'll experience hours that feel like seconds, and seconds that stretch into eternity. Because when you move in spiritual alignment, time no longer binds you. It begins to obey you. The past will lose its grip. You'll no longer replay what was or who hurt you. Not because you forgot, but because you've transcended. You now understand that even your pain had a purpose. And forgiveness becomes easy when the soul sees clearly. You'll crave solitude more often. Not to escape the world, but to connect to your center. In silence, you'll hear more than noise ever offered. You'll hear the voice of God, the whisper of ancestors, the truth of your own heart. You're not alone. You're finally listening. You'll start attracting the right souls, people who feel like home, who speak your language without words, because as your frequency rises, your tribe begins to appear, not by search, but by resonance. Technology may drain you, crowds may overwhelm you, not because you're fragile, but because you're sensitive now to what's false. Your energy system is refining itself, and artificial vibrations no longer feel safe, so you'll retreat, not out of fear, but for preservation. You'll start to remember your mission, not through force, but through feeling. Something inside will keep nudging you. Write that, say that, go there, speak now. And as you obey, clarity will come. You're not figuring it out, you're unfolding it. Some nights may feel heavy. You'll wake up at sacred hours, 3 a.m., 4:44. With visions, names, images. You're not going crazy, you're in communion. The universe is updating your spiritual blueprint in real time. You'll stop needing permission. You'll stop asking if you're good enough. Because that doubt was never yours. It was programmed into you. And now you're deleting the lies and reinstalling the truth. You were chosen before the world tried to convince you otherwise. You'll begin to speak your truth without trembling. Even when your voice shakes, your soul will stand firm. Not everyone will accept what you say, but that no longer matters, because truth isn't about pleasing, it's about liberating. And now everything within you craves freedom. You'll realize your presence alone shifts energy. You won't always need to do or say much. Just being in a space will calm the chaos or stir the unseen, because chosen ones carry frequencies that alter rooms. You don't enter places, you recalibrate them. Money, status, validation, they'll lose their grip. Not because you don't value what's needed in the world, but because your value now comes from something eternal. You're tapped into a supply that has no end, and that realization makes you fearless. The mirror will reflect more than a face. You'll look into your own eyes and see galaxies. Pain, past lives, power, everything swirling behind your gaze. Because your eyes are no longer just human, they're portals. And now they see through the illusion. Children and animals may be drawn to you more often. They feel what most adults have forgotten. Your aura emits remembrance, safety, light. because when you awaken, you become a beacon for innocence and truth. They sense your spirit, not your status. You'll become less interested in proving yourself. You'll let others misunderstand, mislabel, misjudge, because you'll understand the sacred principle. Only those meant to walk with you will recognize your soul. The rest are just echoes of your past timelines. You'll start to create without hesitation. Write, dance, speak, building, share. Not for fame, not for approval, but because your soul needs to express. You're no longer waiting for perfect timing. You are the divine timing. There will be moments of overwhelming emotion. Gratitude, so deep it brings tears. Love for strangers you've never met. Awe for the very breath in your lungs, because you're no longer disconnected, you're remembering your oneness. You'll be tested, not to break you, but to reveal you, to show you how far you've come. And every time you pass through another fire, you'll emerge clearer, lighter, and more sovereign. You'll find that silence becomes your closest ally. Not the absence of sound, but the presence of something deeper. In silence, you'll hear the whispers of your soul. You'll sense the answers before questions even form. This sacred stillness is where your true power is born. Old friendships may fade without warning. It's painful, but necessary. Those who no longer vibrate with your new frequency will drift away. This isn't rejection, it's natural evolution. Your soul is expanding and it demands new connections. You'll start noticing signs everywhere, numbers, animals, songs and colors. These are not coincidences, but coded messages from the universe. They confirm you're on the right path. They remind you that you're never alone. You just have to learn the language of the signs. You'll feel a sacred urgency, a pull that won't let you stay stagnant. It's not stress or fear, it's divine momentum. The universe is pushing you gently, yet firmly, toward your destiny. Resistance will feel heavy and futile. The only way forward is surrender. You'll sense layers peeling off your identity daily. Beliefs, fears, and patterns that no longer serve you dissolve. Sometimes this shedding will feel like loss, but it's actually liberation. You are becoming who you were always meant to be. Your intuition will sharpen like a blade. You'll know things without knowing how you know. Decisions will become effortless because your soul will be guiding every step, and trusting that guidance will feel like coming home. You may feel an urge to retreat into nature. Forests, mountains, rivers, they call to you. These places hold ancient wisdom, and as you spend time there, you'll recharge your spirit. Nature will remind you of your roots, your sacred origins. You will start to see through masks, not just on others, but your own. You'll catch yourself in moments of pretense or fear. This awareness isn't judgment, it's awakening, a gentle, persistent call to be more real. You'll realize that your greatest power is your vulnerability. Showing up fully, raw, and unfiltered, because it takes courage to be seen in your truth, and that courage lights the way for others. Your bravery becomes a beacon. Whenever doubt creeps in, remember this. You were chosen long before you ever felt ready. Destiny does not wait for permission or perfection. It moves through you, calling you to rise. And on this Sunday, that call becomes impossible to ignore. You'll notice your dreams growing clearer and more vivid. They're no longer random stories, but messages from your higher self. Sometimes they'll feel like glimpses of future events. Other times, they'll reveal hidden parts of your soul. Pay close attention, they're guiding you toward your final step. You'll begin to question everything you thought you knew, not to doubt yourself, but to release old programming. Society's stories, family expectations, cultural conditioning, all will come under scrutiny. You're breaking free from the collective illusion, and that freedom feels both terrifying and exhilarating. You may feel moments of intense loneliness, not because you are truly alone, but because no one around you can quite reach the frequency you now inhabit. This solitude is sacred. It's the chrysalis where your true self is born. Your heart will expand beyond its usual limits. You'll feel compassion for strangers, for enemies, for the earth itself. This empathy will sometimes overwhelm you, but it's proof of your awakening. Your soul is no longer confined to personal boundaries. It pulses with universal love. You'll begin to sense the interconnectedness of all things, the way your actions ripple across time and space. The energy you put out returns multiplied. This awareness is humbling but also empowering. You hold the power to heal, to create, to transform. Your body will become a temple, demanding respect and care. You'll crave nourishing foods, movement that feels good, rest without guilt, because your physical vessel is now sacred ground for divine energy. Treat it with reverence. It's your lifelong companion on this journey. The noise of the world will fade into the background. Social media, gossip, drama, they will feel empty, distracting. You'll seek deeper connection, more meaningful conversations. Your circle will shrink but deepen. Quality will replace quantity in every area of life. You'll feel waves of gratitude washing over you unexpectedly. For breath, for life, for the smallest miracles, gratitude will become a daily practice, a shield against despair. Because in appreciation, you anchor yourself in the light. Your voice will carry the wisdom of ages. You'll speak with authority, even when unsure. People will lean in to listen, not because you demand attention, but because your words vibrate with truth. You are a messenger, a warrior of awakening. And now, as this Sunday approaches, the energy builds in layers you cannot yet fully grasp. It's the final activation, the unlocking of your sacred destiny. Everything you've endured, every tear, every moment of doubt has led you here. And from here, there is no turning back. Chosen one, this is your moment. The final step is calling you to rise, to step fully into the power you were born to wield. Embrace your awakening with courage and unwavering faith. Share your journey below. Your story may be the light someone else needs right now. Like this video to honor your path, subscribe to Ascended Awakening to stay connected with your tribe, and together we will walk this sacred road of transformation. Your destiny activates this Sunday. Be ready to claim it.